Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're doing great today. It's a kind of cold and dreary day today. The sun has decided to go back into its little home after a summer that was so warm here. I don't know about where you were, but we had a really hot summer and it's just starting to get cool again now. And this is actually the season that I love the most. What's your favorite season? Yeah, I think autumn for me is a time where, things in a way it's actually as much of a rebirth and renewal as spring because things are starting back up. People are going back to work, back to school, back to preparing for the next quarter, which includes all kinds of fun holidays and get together with family. So in a way for me, the autumn is like kind of a rebirth time as much as the spring is. But I pretty much like every season. Everything pleases me, so I'm just glad to be alive on the planet. But anyway, hope you're doing well. I've got my cup of tea this morning. I have got rooibos. Now, rooibos is a really interesting tea if you don't know about it. It's actually from a plant in South Africa. I got a little note here because it's supposed to help with everything from headaches to insomnia, hypertension, allergies, eczema. It's like one of these things. I'm actually beginning to think that tea in general is just good for all these things because every time I read a description of what's good about this tea, it tells me so many things. But anyway, rooibos is non-caffeine. So it was actually a nice drink for insomnia. Now, if you can see this, it's a really dark tea. It's almost like rust colored, and I like it. But it's supposed to be good with milk and sugar, but I'm just drinking mine like I do black tea. And it's nice. It's a really good tea. So rooibos, that's my tea du jour, tea of the day. So anyway, hope you've got a nice drink or coffee, juice, or whatever you start your day with, or maybe you're watching this in the evening. We have a lot of women around the world who watch the show in the evenings when they're home from their work or their day. But anyway, whatever time it is, hope you're having a good one, a good day. Now, I actually got up this morning and I looked in the mirror and I saw one more wrinkle. I could point it out to you. And it was like, oh, Margaret, I just smiled at the mirror because I thought, you're not going to fool me. You're not going to make me feel bad this morning about having one more wrinkle. Because who's counting? I mean, honestly, we all know that aging is part of life and wrinkles are part of aging. But it's kind of interesting when you stop to think about how you see yourself on the inside and then how you look realistically on the outside. And one of our bloggers, Gloria Dunviolin, wrote an article, how old do you feel on the inside? It's the art of staying youthful within. Now, I think we've all agreed then that it doesn't matter what we look like on the outside. It's what we are. Our faces are going to change. We're going to end up with more wrinkles, little less mobility. But it doesn't have to be. I mean, we can keep going with our exercise, but there are some truths that we have to confront. We're going to change. So how do you stay young, though, on the inside? How do you keep that youthful attitude that, that's really going to be how you live your life? I mean, are you like a 70-year-old person feeling like a 90-year-old person, that's going to absolutely change the way that you live, what you do. And so Gloria has some ideas. And of course, she reminds us that, women and men now are living longer. If you're in your 60s, you're going to live 30 plus years if you stay healthy and well and just avoid any accidents. But, it's really a reality now that we don't have to be limited by the milestones that society has given us. So, retirement age, in quotes, is whatever is now 65 in whatever country. And it's changing. I mean, the retirement age now is being bumped up in countries all around the world. I know in Switzerland we're going to have a vote soon on this, and in the UK it's already been announced. So it's disruptive because a lot of boomer women like you and I were getting ready at 63 or 64 to retire and or in quotes retire and maybe get a small pension. But now that's not going to happen. So we don't have to live anymore by the rules, by the milestones that society sets on us. So we're redefining aging and we're redefining how we feel inside. Now, how old do you feel inside? Honestly. Well, I keep looking back on the times in my life when I felt strong and healthy, and really like I feel today. And I don't know, probably in my 40s. I don't. Somehow 50 just kind of whizzed by, but I don't know. I feel like a kind of ageless time. I don't feel an age. I don't know. Maybe that's the same with you. But in terms of retiring, I don't think I'm ever going to retire from being active and learning and working. I can't see any magical money dropping down from the sky, so I think I'm going to have to work all my life really to earn enough to pay my rent and my food and to live, pay for some travel and give gifts to my children and my grandchildren. All those little things I treasure. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to give that up. So I think that's really an important thing, is to don't freak out if you're still working and if you don't feel like you're going to ever get to retire, because that can change in definition. You don't have to be doing a full-time job or even a part-time job. It can be your own business, or maybe you can live on your Social Security and on your pensions. So it's kind of like we've always talked about, modifying your expenditure, and imagining that whatever is happening on the outside, you can stay young on the inside. So are you that young, kind of spunky 20-year-old, or are you 40 years old and just building a life and a career and family? When did you feel most vibrant, and is that how you feel now? I remember reading a story. You Canadian women will remember this story. I think you have to read it in school, actually. It's by Margaret Lawrence, called The Stone Angel. Do you remember that story? I read it years ago, and it really impacted me, because there was this woman who, Hagar, she it starts off with her dancing around her bedroom and remembering this beautiful experience when she was in her 30s or whatever. And of course, she falls down the stairs, and her son and daughter-in-law pick her up. She's 80 plus years old and still dancing, because she remembers being 20, being 30. And of course, the story progresses, and it doesn't end well for some people. But Hagar seems to be in her own world, and it was one of those books that really struck me. But anyway, it's like, if you got to think about the thoughts and the actions and whatever you did at that time in your life, and try to reproduce it now. Now, of course, you may not be doing, really intense dance, unless you're my friend Maureen, who's still doing tango and West Coast swing and just so fit, wonderful. But if the average person will have to maybe do a little less forceful Bollywood dance, or maybe a little lighter tango. But it's those things that you did at that age in your life that you love to be, that you need to kind of keep going. Plus the new things, of course, the new creativity and the new habits and sports and activities that you've picked up. But I think it's just, there are some tips. Now, Gloria gives you, I think, 15 different tips. And on her website, she's actually got them in I think it's a PDF, or you can read these 15 tips for staying young inside. But some of them, just to cover what she mentioned, was, first of all, believing in yourself. Your brain believes what you tell it. And if you say, I'm 30 years old and I'm feeling like I want to go dancing, it will believe you. It doesn't judge you. And so believing in something really, really impacts your ability to do something. You can take lessons, you can learn things, you can be a lifelong learner, you can make new decisions, set new goals. All the things that you wanted to do, or that you want to do now, that you did when you were in that young state of mind, are really there for you. They're open, and it's really important to believe in yourself, believe in that transformation. Another thing is to have a purpose. I mean, this is super important. And it doesn't matter if it's, your own business, or if it's something like a volunteer activity that you want to do, or, writing a book, writing your memoir, sharing a blog, whatever you want to do, is having that purpose, having a goal. And if it's, if you're going to write deep. Gloria mentions this, don't skirt around the issues that you've got to talk about, that you want to talk about. Do things that are really meaningful, and make that purpose kind of take a significant part in your life. Another thing is to be creative. We just talked about that. I mean, have you noticed, like, for example, that you're doing more scribbling or more, I should really show you something, because I have this crazy habit that I've just picked up, and I don't know how it started or why it started, but I started painting rocks. And I've got a little bowl here of all my rocks, so I can just reach one of them and show you. Yeah, so I was at the beach with my son in Scotland, and I picked up these beautiful pebbles, and I started to paint them. I brought some home. Can you see these crazy rocks? And they're like all different sizes. I've got another one, and I just paint them with Sharpie pens, and then I put nail polish on them to make them glow or to shine or to really seal the colors. But anyway, that's my little hobby, how creative I am. But no, but it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, I'm never going to do anything with these rocks. I have a bowl and I look at them and I touch them and I feel them. But it's just doing something that makes you, for a moment, dive into color, dive into shapes, into textures. Maybe start sewing or knitting. But it's those things that allow you to be creative. And another thing is to just cultivate a curiosity and an interest in life in general or specifically. I've always wanted to learn more about medieval history and the women that lived in medieval times. One of my big passions. And I just started to pick up a book now and again. I go to the library, and because these books are kind of obscure, they're not on Kindle yet, and just learn about something that you're interested in. Anyway, I've been throwing out all kinds of ideas here, but it's this whole idea of, keeping the youth inside of you alive, keeping that curiosity, creativity, desire to, to make your life full and rich and fun, and then doing it, taking action. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've now got some ideas. You're going to go out and pick up some rocks outside and do some rock painting or whatever makes you happy. Really, what makes you happy. This is your time. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Tell a friend about 60andMe. Oh, I got an email today from a woman in India. She had met a friend of mine at a dinner. They were just friends randomly. And she said, oh, I belong to this group called 60andMe. And my friend Juhi went, oh my gosh, that's Margaret. And so I have a friend in India. And so tell one of your friends and tell them about 60andMe. I'd love your support. All right, everybody. Well, have a wonderful day. Go out and do something fun for yourself. And in the comment section below today, just tell me, what age do you feel inside? Be really interested to read your comments and join the conversation. So look out for each other's thoughts and like, share, comment on their comments and leave your own. But let us know, what age do you feel inside? All right, everyone, have a super day, and I'll see you all back here again really soon. Bye-bye for now.